Hello guys, I'm George, and in the last 2 weeks I did about 200 cold outreaches. And the results are not the best. I got almost no responses, I got absolutely zero customers, but I learned something meaningful that I will want to share with you. Okay, so let's start with a quick background, who I am and why am I even doing that, right? So I'm a software engineer, and last 2.5 years I'm trying to build something my own, have my own product besides my job. I was talking about that more details in my last videos where I gave all information about all my projects that I've tried so far. But in all my projects, my biggest problem was always finding the customers. That's why now I'm really focusing on finding customers. And that's why I'm doing all these cold outreaches, to be able to finally talk to people and to be able to finally get a real customers. That's why I'm doing all that. And currently I am focusing on the Shopify, right? Because Shopify is a platform where you can create an online store, and I'm focusing on creating applications for the Shopify, right? So the people who are using Shopify, they can use my apps to improve their store or make their life better or easier. I've basically created 3 apps, and to be honest, these 3 apps I've created without much validation. I've created them just because I thought it might be helpful. So I did a lot of mistakes when I was creating those apps, but I've learned a lot of stuff. But now the hardest part for me, distribution. So now I'm really trying to find customers. And to be honest, even like one of the reasons why I started Shopify was this dream that maybe because there is like a Shopify app store, I don't have to do a lot of marketing, a lot of distribution. Maybe I can just build app and the customer will come their own. Spoiler, they won't. I quickly realized that nobody gives a fuck about my app, and like even on Shopify, you still have to find customer. You, exceptionally, as I understand, like your first like 10 or 20 customers, it really comes down if you can find them quickly to be able to give you feedback and to understand if your idea is even worth it. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So yeah, in the last like 2 weeks, I did about 200 cold outreaches, right? And I wanna kind of separate the first 100 and the second 100 because it was a bit like a different structure and different tactic, you can say, right? So the first 100 cold outreaches, basically, it was just some random guys, right? I've DM'd some random people on Reddit that I find in Shopify subreddit. It was like maybe the first like 50, and the other 50 basically were owners of the stores that I just find on internet, right? Basically I just Googled in quotes powered by Shopify to be able to find the Shopify stores and emailed those people to like ask something about their business, to be able to maybe like gather some useful information or maybe understand, okay, what are the struggles in their business, how can I maybe try to help them, and so on. And I've got basically only one answer. That was one guy on Reddit who said that he basically like every day some people are DM'd him about that, some like developers who trying to get a free validation from him, and that's it just doesn't work. And when I read it, I was like, damn, that's basically exactly what I'm doing. I'm just DMing some random people trying to, on Reddit exception, right? Like, I've just thought about that for a second, that I was like, yeah, probably it's so many people on Reddit who doing exactly the same. It's like, doesn't make sense to Reddit to DM some random people on Reddit. So that's when I understood, no, it just doesn't make so many sense. And all this like random store that I was emailing, like maybe they weren't interested at all in any apps, or maybe they just don't had the problem that I wanted to solve. So it's kind of like, it really make no sense to DM just a random people. I realized that basically what I was doing, it was like a spam, right? I'm just spamming people who weren't interested. So I'm like, no. And also I'm like, realize that, wait a minute, if somebody like emails me with something similar, I never answer to that. I'm just delete this email. So why am I doing the same thing? And basically exactly that was the moment when I thought, okay, my next 100 cold outreach should be different, should be better. And that was, I was thinking, okay, how can I DM not some random people with the Shopify store, but how can I find people who might be interested in my product? How I find people who maybe have the pain of what I'm trying to solve. And I realized, okay, there's couple of ways. I also kind of can use Reddit, but then I should DM people only who may be participating in this, where they discuss problems that I'm solve. So not the random Reddit users, but only that have pains that I solve. Or I can do so-called review mining. When you open a competitor from your app, for example, I have one app, there is a competitor, I'm just opening this competitor app, I'm going to the review and read the reviews from people who wrote negative reviews, right? Well, like 1 star on 2 stars review. And then usually there are people who have the pain that I'm solving, right? Because they're using the competitor app, so they have the pain, but they are not happy with result that my competitor gave. So that's something that can be like important to me, because this is a chance to connect to person who has the pain and not happy with my competitor. I've used AI for that reason. I've created kind of list of competitors, said AI that he should open the Shopify App Store and then go through the reviews and find 1 star and 2 star reviews, and then create kind of like a table with the shop name, web page, how can I contact them, and so on. And then basically I've started trying to connect with those people, right? So that was basically my next 100 cold outreaches I've sent to those kind of people. And I've got a couple of responses, but nobody was interested. So a couple of persons really answered me, but basically they all sent, no, we're not interested. That was all the answers I got. And to be honest, it was very frustrating, because I really was hoping that this is really a very good idea, because I mean, there is like a signal, they wrote a negative commenter. So there is a signal, there is pain that my app should solve. So I was really hoping that this is how I will get my first customers, but no, nobody from them was interested. Then, to be honest, I kind of was like feeling, yeah, it doesn't work again. I can't find customers. Maybe I should try to do something different. Maybe I should create a new app. Or maybe I should even try something like completely different. Maybe I should do something in fitness sphere, because I'm doing fitness for a long time, so I have experience with that. But then I was like, no. I promised myself next year only Shopify, so fuck it all. I had a couple of problems that I wasn't sure how can I solve them, right? And problem 1 was basically that I wasn't sure how can I even get more people to connect to, because I've already used this review mining, and I was also aware that I cannot just contact a random people because they won't answer. And I was like, okay, what can I do? How can I find more people? How should I even like connect to them? Because as I said before, was writing some pretty generic emails, I would say generated with AI. I was like, it also doesn't work, but what should I do? How can I get more customers? How can I create better emails? And the second thing was that I was like, okay, but how many people I even should connect to? Because I don't know, like 100, it sounds really a lot. It sounds like, damn, 200 emails and 0 customers? How many I fucking should do then? But then I kind of like started to read more about, okay, how even like to do this cold out? How even to connect to people? Because as a technical guy, I never thought about it, like how to find customers, how to connect with people. So I was like watching videos about that, and also like started to read a book about that. So now I think I'm kind of getting to understand it a bit more better. And it seems like marketing and exceptional like cold outreach, it's not so easy as I thought, because I thought you just send an email and then you're waiting for answer. But it seems like no, it seems like it's like very a lot of stuff that's going on there. It's like it is a skill, and I should to fucking learn it. So that's what I'm planning to do. I'm really planning to learn how to do it better, how to do it more efficient, because I need fucking customers. I really need fucking customers. I have fucking 0, and I have to find them. And now I'm this stage where I've already have a couple of apps, so I should like try my fucking best to find my first customers. And if like after a couple of months I realize, okay, I've connected now like so many fucking people and nobody is interested, then probably it will be too time to okay, my Shopify apps are bad. They doesn't work, maybe a wrong market, maybe wrong features, maybe wrong timing, whatever. But then it would be the moment where I can then say, okay, doesn't work, let's try different app, okay? But now, after I've connected like 200 people, my first instinct was to give up, because I was feeling frustrated. I felt like nothing works, and I was like, again, yeah, I cannot do it. I'm not made for this. I'm not a marketing guy. I can do that. But no, I can't give up. I should keep moving forward. So yes, I will find more leads. I will find more customers. I will connect to a lot of them. And I really have to try to do my emails better and Hopefully, I will find my first client. God damn, it will be so good if I finally get my first client, because I don't even have one real user of any of my apps. I have 3 apps. I've published them like one, I think 1.5 months ago. The other was like 3 weeks ago, and other was like a week ago or something like this. Right? So I have 3 apps, 0 real customer. Not a single person uses any of this app. Damn, I just really wanna find my first fucking customer. It will be so good just to have first customer, first person who really uses my app. Okay, I really hope I will do it, guys. Have a good day. Bye.